So hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 7 of our Andretti F1 Manager save here on the channel. Now, if you didn't watch the last episode, go back and watch that one because it was a decent day in Imola for Andretti. P8 and P10, Max Verstappen won again. We scored some more points. If we just have a quick look at the standings, because I've got a bit to get into before we get to Monaco. Let's have a little look at the constructors. Red Bull leading the way from Aston Martin. We are in P5 on 22 points, but we are bringing some upgrades this weekend, and I'm very excited about it. Max Verstappen is leading the Drivers' Championship from Checo Perez. Red Bull have got 6 wins from 6 this season. Can anyone stop them? I'm not saying we're going to do, but we've got some upgrades. Now, let's just have a little look at the car analysis. In fact, no, we're going to do it by the parts in the warehouse. We have had a new underfloor come through. Now, if you remember, I said at the start of this season, we're going to do a design, we're going to do another design, then manufacture. Well, this is our second underfloor design, and this has made a huge difference because look at the rank on the grid difference between this car and car 1. If we can look at this, let's just install that on car 1. Look at the difference on the right-hand side that this is going to make to low speed and medium speed cornering. I wanted to get this on for this weekend because I think this could make a massive, massive difference to our performance this weekend. We've only got one at the moment. Pierre Gasly's is going to be finished by the weekend, so we should be all right by the time qualifying comes round. Just to bring you up to date on what we're developing next, we have got 3 designs that we're looking at. The rear wing is going to be something that we're going to bang on straight away. The chassis and the side pods are once again intense designs. And then the next side pods and chassis developments will be going on the car. We're of course wary of the cost cap, but I think we're managing it a lot better this season. Final thing before we get into the weekend is the technical chief. We have got Matt Harmon, who is our technical chief. He's a good technical chief. But we decided, oh, let's just have a look to see if there's anybody else out there. And we had a look, and Enrico Cardile was available. We are scouting him at the moment. He's a free agent. He's too good to be sat doing nothing, twiddling his thumbs, doing the Sudoku at home. So we're scouting him at the moment. He may be one that we bring him at the end of the season. I don't like making changes mid-season, but I don't want to lose this opportunity to bring him in because he could be massive going forward for Andretti. This weekend, of course, we head to Monte Carlo, the jewel in the crown of the F1 calendar. 78 laps round here. It's got a chance it can be a procession round here, but I'm hoping it's not going to be. A one-stop strategy is what we're looking at. If it's raining, all hell can break loose, but I'm going to get through practice, and I will see you in qualifying for, yes, the Monaco Grand Prix. Final laps in Q2, the most important qualifying session of the year, and Ocon is green through the middle sector. He set a much better lap than Pierre Gasly. It must be said Pierre Gasly has not had the luck with traffic so far this weekend as Ocon goes above George Russell. Pierre Gasly crosses the line, but it is not enough, and P15 with the new upgrade. That is a poor, poor performance. So just one car in Q3, and that car is Esteban Ocon, but that is very disappointing from Gasly. He didn't get the practice on the new part on Friday, so maybe that was something to do with it. But Ocon in the top 10. Checker flag is out, and Ocon is on his last flying lap in qualifying. P10 on a set of scrub tyres early doors, but he's green through the first and second sectors. Where is this going to land? Esteban Ocon, as he comes up towards the finish line, Esteban Ocon crosses the line and jumps up to P8 above Stroll and Zhou Guanyu at the moment. Does Stroll improve? He does, but Ocon is very much in the fight with these Aston Martins this weekend. Look at the gap. It's a very small gap between Magnussen and Zhou in 10th. Anything can happen here. And we are now going to get to the strategy screen. Right then, guys. 2 very different positions for our guys starting. Esteban Ocon in P9. We're going for the same strategy because this is what we're thinking. The rain is going to come around lap 25. That's when the tyres should just be dying off. If it comes a bit sooner, we're laughing because I want to get us on the mediums towards the end. I reckon they'll last towards the end. A few guys may go on hards. I think the medium might be the way to go. We're going to try and have that tyre offset. Of course, it's Monaco. There's rain forecast. Anything can happen. But P9, P15, let's get to 5 red lights for the Monaco Grand Prix.
The streets of Monte Carlo are ready as the drivers prepare for the 78 laps of the Monaco Grand Prix. As we get to this race, our focus shifts to Valtteri Bottas.
For P17, you know, they could try and be clever here, and then who knows what they could manage.
So let's see what today has in store, shall we? It's time for one of the most exciting races in the world. This is the Monaco Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
And away we go. Verstappen gets a good start from Leclerc. Russell in P3, Magnussen P5. Ocon already into P8. Had a look down the inside of Checo Perez. Checo Perez managing to get back past him even. But as we race up towards Casino Square, Ocon settled in nicely. Gasly has got to be making moves early doors. And Gasly has caused a crash, and it is a red flag. Red flag is out. Session suspended. Are we going to get a replay of this? I'm not sure we are. We are. It's Yuki Tsunoda. He wasn't being aggressive, Pierre Gasly, but he tapped the inside of the Hugo Boss car. That caused a massive pile-up. Tsunoda says, I'm sorry. Gasly will be lucky to avoid a penalty here. The Hugo Boss guys, hands on heads. And this is going to greatly affect the strategy here. And we're going to have a look at what the weather's looking like as well. So we'll come back when we're back to green flag running.
The restart is moments away as the race continues. And it's lights out, and away we go.
And away we go. We managed to get going pretty quickly. Once again, it didn't affect the weather too much, it must be said. Ocon's tried the same dive down the inside. There's been another crash. What's happened here? We have another red flag. What on earth is happening in this Grand Prix? I can't even tell you who has caused that. Let's have a little look at this one. It's Alexander Albon in the wars this time. I believe that's Lewis Hamilton. We saw Lewis Hamilton have a shocking day. He's collided with the inside barrier. And Lewis Hamilton, that is very disappointing from him. Smashing into the barrier. The Williams of Alexander Albon actually got away with it. We've got another red flag. And I will come back to you when we're back to green flag running. We're going to be on the intermediates.
Our race here resumes as we get back underway. It's lights out, and away we go.
And away we go again. And just to show you now, we are on the intermediate tyres, early doors in this. We're hoping we're going to manage to get through turn 1 this time, as we appear to have done. Pierre Gasly is in P9. Hamilton has a 5-second penalty, but he's out of the race anyway. We've already got 2 DNFs after 5 laps. Ocon is in P9, chasing down the back of Checo Perez. We can see Gasly as well in P15. I want him to be aggressive. I want him to make moves. And he certainly made a move there down the inside of Valtteri Bottas. And as we go around this hairpin, what a corner this is, by the way. And look at this. We're crawling round at the moment. We're expecting the rain to be coming down very, very shortly. But then it is going to be hard compound tyres towards the end. Gasly there is past the Audi of Valtteri Bottas. Ocon currently in P9, just hanging onto the back of these guys in front at this moment in time. It's not really got going this race yet, but it's starting to now. On lap 5, Verstappen's lead from George Russell. It's nearly a second gap between him and the Mercedes car. Leclerc and Sainz P3 and 4. Magnussen is in P5. Then comes Alonso, Stroll, Ocon dropping back a little bit now, trying to get his tyres fired up a little bit. And we will do very shortly. In fact, we're going to go aggressive on the tyres for both our cars. We normally do it off the restart. I didn't feel the need to because they come out of the warm tyre blankets. We don't want to be losing any positions to Zhou Guanyu behind, but I don't think Zhou Guanyu's got the pace to overtake us, despite chucking one in to Sander Vogt. And to be fair, he's going to push us all the way here, as Esteban Ocon's going to be told he's got the ERS battle assist. As we go into Casino Square, it looks like we've done just enough, and done just enough we have. Or have we? Because Ocon is still fighting with Zhou Guanyu, who's going to have the outside line, inside line, but that's going to turn to the outside in to this left-hander. As Ocon fighting with him, tyres overheating a little bit, will just bring them down slightly. And Ocon does manage to hold position early doors. Meanwhile, Gasly is looking at the back as we go onto the visor cam. He's looking at the back of the McLaren of Lando Norris, but we've just got to calm these tyres down a little bit because we are lighting them up a little bit more than what we wanted to. Lap 6, Verstappen leads. Another big moment in this race, and it's Lando Norris, and Pierre Gasly's involved again into Casino Square. He chucks it to the outside, Pierre Gasly. Lando Norris just skimming the side of the wall, and that has allowed Pierre Gasly through into P13. Unlucky for some, not for Pierre. And Pierre now has got clean air in front of him, which is absolutely delightful as well. Ocon, he's holding off Zhou Guanyu now. It's still a dry track at this moment. The rain hasn't come down as we thought it would. And on lap 8, Ocon is still in P9. Bring you back, lap 21. Verstappen leading from Russell. It's Leclerc and Simons. Magnussen is still in P5 and doing a fantastic job at this moment in time. It is just about damp on track at the moment. Ocon's in P9. Gasly in P13. Lando Norris is holding up Bottas and Piastri like you've never seen. But one thing we are looking at is what we are going to do strategy-wise. We're looking at whether a 2-stop or a 1-stop is the better option. And at this moment in time, it's very difficult to see. 12 seconds is apparently the gap between the two. The 2-stop looks more favourable, but I'm unsure at the moment. We may copy what other people do, specifically with Ocon. We might, as it's very difficult to pass here. So on lap 21, still a lot to play for here, but Ocon doing very well just to tag on to the back of the top 10 in P9. So Zhou's there and Hulkenberg's in P11. Gasly needs to gain a couple of positions. Right, we're going for the jugular. Perez is in. Ocon is in. He's onto the softs. He's Checo Perez. Ocon is in as well. This could be a massive, massive point in this race. In comes Esteban Ocon. Gasly's in as well. He's trundling down the pit lane. We get away well, and that is absolute clockwork. If this is a good pit stop, which it is, that is clockwork from our guys. Ocon back out, as is Gasly, onto the soft compounder tyre. This is now, it's hammer time. Gasly's onto the medium. Ocon's on the on the soft. We wanted to stagger it purely for his next pit stop. That was the idea. And if he gives us the option, we are going to go for broke here. Deploy, attack on the tyres. This is the moment. We've got to make this count. We'll come back at the end of this lap, but both our guys have made the pit stops. And in come the front runners. A lot of cars going onto the soft compound tyre. Esteban Ocon, he's belting round and he's caught up to Checo Perez. This is some performance from Esteban Ocon. He's had the confidence all weekend. He's attacking these soft compound tyres like you've never seen. Pierre Gasly is on the back of, I believe that is Zhou Guanyu as well. So there's a real mix of strategies here. This is one entertaining Monaco Grand Prix as he's now on the back of Checo Perez. We're just going to tell him to just calm down now on the tyres. He's got the DRS. And look at this. Stroll, Magnussen is coming out. He's past Sandoval. Ocon's up to P7. Where is the Red Bull of Checo Perez? It's there. I reckon we can now catch Magnussen as Ocon overtakes Checo Perez. Gasly is in a right fight at the back. He's overtaken the two Williams. And Gasly is up into P11 and closing on Nico Hulkenberg. What a performance from both our pit crew. Deserves a lot of credit there. It really, really does. As we look at Pierre Gasly around the outside of Sandoval, we can see the Williams there coming across onto the racing line. It was almost as though Pierre Gasly ghosted through him up towards Casino Square. What a bit of driving that is. Ocon now is going to be chasing down Magnussen like you have never seen. I fancy us to catch Magnussen, who's on the hard compound tyre. Magnussen going long. Verstappen and Leclerc are into the pits. They're going to be a long way in front of us, of course, and Sainz possibly not. We're just going to run with this. We're just going to speed it on a little bit just towards the end of this lap because I'm intrigued to see where Carlos Sainz, who's trundling down the pit lane now, Ocon and Perez coming down here, and Ocon is closing on Magnussen very, very quickly. And he's closing on him quickly because that's a new fastest lap of the Grand Prix for Esteban Ocon. He's now 3 seconds back from Magnussen. We're just going to calm it down on the ERS a little bit because I think we will catch him as we see Pierre Gasly. He's pulled away from the Williams and now attacking Nico Hulkenberg, and he's got the Aston Martin of Lance Stroll in front of him as well. He fancies this. This is what I'm on about with our drivers at this moment in time. Our drivers are very, very capable of putting in good performances, and we're starting to see these upgrades come through, and that's making a hell of a difference to these cars. Lap 28, Ocon P7, Gasly 11th. Unfortunately, as good as my drivers have been, we are fighting a Red Bull, and Checo Perez has managed to get past Esteban Ocon. If we can tag onto this DRS now, we'll be more than happy with that. But he got the job done from the run-up to Casino Square from Sandoval. So Checo Perez, it's 1.3 seconds now, the gap Sainz is lapping well. Gasly's actually dropped off the pace a little bit off the back of Zhou Guanyu. So Gasly's got a little bit more work to do here in this little sector of his race. But Verstappen is leading the way by nearly 5 seconds to Russell. Fastest lap of the Grand Prix for Checo Perez. Checo Perez is looking lightning quick, but hopefully Magnussen might just do us a solid here and hold him up that little bit and allow Ocon back in. But Gasly seems to be dropping off a cliff here. If we just have a look, 1:15.2 last lap. Don't know quite what's wrong with Pierre Gasly, but something seems to have gone wrong in the cockpit. Lap 31. Lap 39, Esteban Ocon. Checo Perez got past Kevin Magnussen, as you would expect, but then Esteban Ocon decided he was going to get past him too, and he's passed the Haas of Magnussen. He's performing exceptionally well at this moment in time, is Esteban Ocon. We're looking at Pierre Gasly more than anything at the moment, because Pierre Gasly is struggling. We don't know why. He's struggling to stay in the DRS of Alexander Albon. Ocon is still fighting away with Magnussen, to be fair, which is probably not helping their cause with the Aston Martin of Stroll behind him. We're just going to flick back to that battle as they side by side through the tunnel, and Magnussen has managed to get past him through the swimming pool chicane. Ocon takes the inside line, but this is not helping our race, because I don't want that Aston Martin of Lance Stroll closing in on us any closer than he has to. Meanwhile, we're looking at Gasly, like I say, 0.6 of a second to Albon. Not really at the pace, but possibly will be quicker towards the end of this Grand Prix on those soft compound tyres. We've got to get the strategy call with Gasly absolutely bob on, and the beauty of it is we can go for the undercut because Piastri is a little bit further back and he's holding us up. He's holding up this gaggle behind. He's got a nice window to get out into, has Pierre Gasly. We're going for an undercut. Esteban Ocon is in to the pits. We reckon we've got a nice gap to get him out into. And Esteban Ocon trundles down the pit lane. He's onto the medium tyres now, is Esteban Ocon. It's not it's not a bad stop, 2.6 seconds. It looks a little bit longer. Sat here on the pit wall. Maybe I'm just getting a little bit concerned as we see Hülkenberg, Albon. I would expect Gasly to get past him as well. But as Ocon comes out now in P13, he's got fuel to burn, he's got tyres to use, and he's got ERS as well. So this is a big, big moment now for Esteban Ocon in this race. A few cars in front of him are going to be pitting, and he now needs to get up to speed quickly, push on these tyres, and we will go from there. Meanwhile, Gasly in P12, he's got a few more laps to go. If by some chance Ocon catches him, he will let him past. We are very aware that we're in different races this afternoon, as Ocon now is trying to make up the gap on Checo Perez. New fastest lap of the Grand Prix for Esteban Ocon. He is cooking at this moment in time. He's caught up to his teammate. He's probably going to get DRS as well. We are going to say to Pierre Gasly, you do not defend from Esteban. Do not lose him any time, because it's not necessary. What you can do is give him a little tow if you want, and hopefully he will repay the favour as well. So Pierre Gasly is going to let Esteban pass very shortly, but this is a big, big moment. He's lapping fantastically well, and into the pits is Checo Perez. Checo Perez coming on to the medium compound tyre. No, he's onto another set of soft compound tyres. That is very, very interesting indeed. He's going to be quick for a while yet. That's also making me think that maybe Pierre Gasly could also come on to a set of soft compound tyres. In fact, we're just going to make sure that he doesn't fight his teammate. Get out of the way. Do not fight your teammate. And he doesn't. He lets him pass. Pierre Gasly being the team player there. He's passed now. And Gasly is just tottering along. But where is Checo Perez? Checo Perez is just 3 seconds up the road. We half the deficit with Esteban Ocon. And now, if Ocon can get past Albon, that will be absolutely lovely. Lap 51. Pierre is coming in to the pits. We're going to try the undercut with Pierre as well. Also, my thinking in this is, look, we are very good on our tyres at times, so it makes sense for us to basically trust in that. 2.9 seconds, not the best again. Something that we are looking at this moment in time, but Gasly will come out into clean air. He's going to have no problems at all with the cars around him, as now we've got Alexander Albon to negotiate with Esteban Ocon, and Esteban Ocon's going to be told to get past him sharpish here. He needs to make light work of these cars. Gasly's back out onto the circuit in a nice bit of clean air. He can push, he can be aggressive now on the ERS, do all those things. But now it's Esteban Ocon's chance. He's got to get past these two cars in front of him very, very quickly as Verstappen's into the pit. Ocon overtaking Albon. We said he got to get the jobs done, and he's certainly done it into Sandoval, into the inside line, all the way on the run up to Casino Square. And as we join back to the live action, this job isn't done just yet. He's just about to get around the outside, but Albon comes back at him again, and we are going to tell Esteban Ocon to use the ERS, get past him, and then he's got to have a look at Nico Hülkenberg, who's on the medium compounder tyre as well. Perez has made his way forward a little bit better as we ride on board with Esteban Ocon into the swimming pool chicane. Doesn't quite manage to get the job done. We're just going to calm it down a little bit on the fuel, but we're conscious that we've got a lot of cars in front that's yet to pit as well. So Esteban doing a very good job. Gasly pushing like hell on the soft compound tyres. He's cooking on gas at the moment. But yeah, I reckon down this next straight as we ride on board with Esteban Ocon, this should be the moment where he gets past him. He's got all the ERS, he's got DRS. And will he manage to get past him? He looks to the outside. He's going to go to the inside. He's tried this move once on Alexander Albon. Chooses not to go for it here. Lap 55. Disappointing from Ocon as he's now going for the run up to Casino Square. Will he make a move into here? No, he won't. He's stalking the back of Nico Hülkenberg. And it's got to be said, Nico Hülkenberg is doing a fantastic job for his teammate because Ocon has got to catch back up with a couple of cars in front as well. So there's a lot of work to do here, but Ocon's got to get past his car quickly. Finally, he manages to get past him. He had to go for a lunge up the inside in the end, but those tyres were dying off, and Ocon is through up into P9, I believe that is, or is that P10? Let's just have a quick check back. He's up into P10. He's got in front of him. He's got Stroll and Zhou to pit still. I doubt Magnussen's going to pit again. Albon's had a pit stop issue, which has allowed Gasly back into it. Hülkenberg's got to pit again, so Gasly could be on for points here as well. Both cars doing very, very well at the moment in their respected races, but Ocon now, he's just took a little bit too much time behind that car, and he's now got Zhou and Stroll in front of him, who I believe are both yet to pit. Can we catch Magnussen? Maybe. Gasly manages to get past Hülkenberg. He's up in 2P11 before he took his pit stop as well, by the way. Same as Ocon into that corner. It's been a good overtaking point for us today. And Pierre Gasly is up into P11. We are once again looking at Esteban Ocon, who's once again struggling to get past a Williams. He's going to be told to deploy once again. He's got to get past this car. Because this is harming his race. Although they're both going to pit very shortly, so maybe we just hold on to the back of it a little bit. Save the ERS for defending a little bit later. But once these two guys pit in front of Pierre Gasly, we should both be in the points once again. It'll be another solid weekend for us. And with 15 laps to go, Verstappen, I mean, how can we stop this man? He's now 18 seconds clear of second place Carlos Sainz. And Carlos Sainz has got to pit. My God. Ocon had to get the move done on circuit, and he certainly did. He got it done into the inside, into the hairpin. And that is job done. Ocon up to P9. He's now dispatched the cars in front of him that's yet to pit, apart from Lance Stroll, who's 6 seconds up the road. Lance Stroll's going to have to pit at some point. I'd imagine he's going to be onto the soft compounder tyres when he does. Gasly at the moment managing his tyres lovely. And to be fair, that's what we want him doing at this moment in time. 15 laps to go. Decent position. Now, far be it for me to question another team's strategy, but I don't get what Williams are doing with their cars at this moment. I think that was Alexander Albon. Let me just double check on that. And the reason behind this comment is this. It was Zhou Guanyu actually, but let's just have a look at his tyres. They're on 26%, as are Stroll's. Are these guys trying to go to the end? Because if they are, I mean, Ocon now is absolutely cruising up to the back of that Aston Martin. I think he's possibly a little bit too far back for Magnussen. Although Magnussen's tyres are dying off at a similar rate. Could a P7 be on the cards here? And Gasly will probably catch Stroll as well. I'm amazed Lance Stroll hasn't pit yet. Lap 68. Let's just see if Stroll goes into the pits here. He's got to come into the pits shortly, surely. He doesn't. He carries on. Is he going to the end on those medium tyres? It's very brave if he is. I don't get what Aston Martin are doing. Lance Stroll is basically driving on 4 blocks of ice here. And Ocon, I mean, He's passed him. It's job done. He's up into P7. We're loving it. He's going to be looking at the back of a Cadillac all afternoon now, Lance Stroll until he pits. But Pierre Gasly is not going to be far behind him towards the end. We're actually managing the tyres with Pierre Gasly at the moment, and we're still cruising up to the back of Lance Stroll. So at this moment in time, we're looking pretty good for a P7 actually, because Ocon now is hot on the back of Kevin Magnussen, and it must be said, I mean, Perez's tyres are going to die, but probably not enough by the end. But Magnussen is going to be a sitting duck by the time we get to the back of him. We've already broken DRS on Lance Stroll, and Gasly is just following his teammate up, albeit a little bit slower. Stroll has pit. Lance Stroll has finally pit on lap 71. I'm assuming he's gone onto soft compound tyres. He only had a used set of soft compound tyres left. We are just monitoring a couple of gaps as Alonso is into the pit lane. And Alonso is going to get stuck behind a couple of back markers here who are battling away. And that has allowed Ocon up into 7th. And Ocon, while being in 7th, is now on the back of Kevin Magnussen looking for P6. Gasly just had to fire his tyres up a little bit more because we are aware that Alonso is going to be stuck behind these two cars behind. But Gasly now, if he can hold off Alexander Albon, that would be great. But Ocon is going to have a very quick Aston Martin behind him very shortly. Esteban Ocon has got Kevin Magnussen. He got DRS. He went for the move into Sandoval. Beautifully done from Esteban Ocon. And on the run up to Casino Square, it was side by side. As you can see, we're looking at Alonso behind. He's going to be absolutely fuming on his radio. But look at this. We've got Esteban Ocon now in front of Kevin Magnussen. Sainz has tyres. Sainz has a puncture. Carlos Sainz has a puncture. This is unbelievable. Ocon, he's past him. Sainz has a puncture, and Ocon is up to P5. That's going to hold up the cars behind as well. And Esteban Ocon, oh, the stars are lining for you, my friend, because you're up to P5 in an Andretti at Monaco. And Pierre Gasly now is now on the back of Carlos Sainz. He's going to skip round the outside of him as well. Gasly is up to P8. Magnussen, I would imagine, is going to the end on these tyres. He isn't going to be able to catch Esteban Ocon. It's tyre preservation now for Ocon, but Gasly's past Sainz, and Gasly is in to P8. This is a beautiful, beautiful thing as Verstappen is 43 seconds ahead of Russell. I don't know if Ocon's going to be able to do this. I really hope he is, but he has got Fernando Alonso on a fresh set of soft compound tyres behind him. Is he going to be able to do what Alonso did so well that time a few years ago and just hold up this Aston Martin? He's got 3 laps to defend. What a performance it would be if he could. And unfortunately, the answer is no. Fernando Alonso got the DRS, and unfortunately, despite his best efforts, he went for a lunge down the inside, got the job done. Nothing that Esteban could do about it, and that was it. Alonso got it done. It does drop us down to P6. But at the moment, I'm not that upset by that. If he could somehow tag on... In fact, we're going to tell him to deploy. We want to try and stay in this DRS. I don't think we can. I don't think it's reasonable. Gasly may be under pressure from Stroll very shortly as well. So it's not over yet for our guys. Stroll could catch him. Albon couldn't. But we have got some traffic to make his way through here. And Pierre Gasly got a nice run on that Audi. Let's have a little look at where Lance Stroll is. Lance Stroll gets past him quite nicely as well. But there is a lot of traffic here for Gasly to get through. And he's actually closing up to the back of Magnussen. This could be a massive moment as well. Ocon, it's job done. Alonso's broke DRS. That's it. As we come on towards the final couple of laps, we're going to keep an eye on both these battles. But Gasly has got an Aston Martin on the back. Enjoying his bike. Verstappen is on the lead lap. Magnussen isn't, and neither is Pierre Gasly. Pierre Gasly is actually trying to go for broke here and get past Kevin Magnussen. We're going to give it absolute beans here because he possibly could gain a position on the final lap, or his final lap. We're telling him to deploy. We're telling him to be aggressive with absolutely everything. We are going to get DRS on this start-finish straight. Will we be able to make the overtake? I don't think we're quite going to get it as he pulls to the left-hand side. Magnussen does get P7. Gasly gets P8. And that is fantastic work, but we're just going to now just fast forward this round a little bit. We don't normally show this screen, but we're just going to fast forward Ocon round because there's nothing to play for Esteban Ocon. He can enjoy driving round the marina in an Andretti Cadillac and picking up a 6th place finish at Monaco. that has been one hell of a Monaco Grand Prix for Andretti. We had 2 red flags, we had everything, and we're coming across the line for P6 for Esteban, P8 for Gasly. Let's have a listen to Esteban's radio message, which I'm hoping is going to come across very, very shortly. Or maybe not, maybe not. We'll just get to the podium.
Now that's an excellent drive today from Esteban Ocon.
An outstanding performance today to have made the top 10. Not many would have expected this from the team, to be honest.
It's hugs all round for the team. In fact, they all deserve a pat on the back as well for everything that they've achieved. Well, Max Verstappen can add yet another podium to his already impressive record.
6 wins now in this season, they're not flagging. A mighty impressive victory.
Always a special occasion here in the incomparable Monte Carlo.
So Monte Carlo provides another Max Verstappen victory. I mean, did anybody bet against it? But let's have a look at these final standings, because we can be very proud, and it shows a good sign of progress when an upgrade comes in and makes this much of a difference. Max Verstappen in P1, Russell P2, and Leclerc made up the podium. Esteban Ocon in P6, Gasly in P8, gaining 7 positions, Pierre Gasly, after a difficult qualifying. Verstappen is still leading the way in the drivers' standings. He now leads by 30 points from Checo Perez. Charles Leclerc's in P4. But as we can see, Ocon and Gasly now near enough neck and neck. 19 points for Gasly, 15 points for Ocon. And that's going to make a big difference in the constructors, because we extend our lead over Williams to 19 points over those. We are not quite catching Mercedes, but if these upgrades keep coming like they are doing, we will start to gain ground, and next season we could be very much in for a really, really good season. But ladies and gentlemen, I hope you've enjoyed that. Monaco can be a procession. It wasn't today. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Ta-ra!